If you guys have watched my video that I did on the beast that came out of the sea, or that will come out of the sea, you know that in that video I identified what that beast will be. That it will be a government, it will be a throne over the entire earth, a kingdom over the entire earth. I also show that in Revelation chapter 13 verses 2 down through 4 that this beast that comes out of the sea will receive its power, its throne, underscore throne, and its great authority from the dragon. Now, mainstream Christianity teaches that the beast is or will be a man who they call Antichrist. Yet Antichrist is never mentioned in the book of Revelation. The Watchtower Bible and Tract Society teaches that the beast is the United Nations, and that in the year 1920 we had the League of Nations. The League of Nations died, according to the Watchtower, as an organization, and it died as an organization, but it was revived in the year 1945 under another name, the United Nations. So thus, the fatal wound, or the wound that it received, or the fatal stroke that it received in one of its heads, is that revival from being the League of Nations and then becoming later on the United Nations. I do not believe that any of that is true. Now, we must ask ourselves, where will, and notice I'm speaking here in future tense, where will this beast that comes out of the sea receive its fatal wound in one of its heads? Or I should say, when will this beast that comes out of the sea receive the fatal wound or sword stroke, as we read about later on in Revelation, in one of its heads? Well, the answer is in the previous chapter, Revelation chapter 12. And beginning at verse 7, we read that Michael and his angels battled against the dragon and his angels. So the dragon also has angels. But we're told that that war occurred in heaven, not on earth. And that the dragon was cast out of heaven. There is the wound right there. The dragon will lose that war and be cast out of heaven down to the earth in future days. And it's at that time that the dragon will bring up out of the abyss, because the dragon will be abyssed for 1,000 years. And when the dragon is unabyssed or released from his prison, and all this is invisible now, he will bring up with him and establish a beast that he powers and gives a throne and his great authority. We're also told in Revelation chapter 13, verses 2 down to verse 4, that the people will wonder at the beast because its fatal wound had been healed. So the inhabitants of the earth in those future days will wonder in awe at this monstrosity, this kingdom, this throne. And the people will say and believe, who is like the beast? Who can do battle against it? Notice the references to battle and war here. So that war that occurred between Michael and his angels and the dragon and his angels occurred in heaven, not on earth. This has nothing to do with anything on earth. Now, the establishment of this kingdom of the beast, that will be real. The existing governments / kingdoms that we know of today will be a thing of the past, more than 1,000 years gone, forgotten. And there will reside on the earth in future days one kingdom, the kingdom of the beast. Prior to the establishment of the kingdom of the beast, there will exist another kingdom on the earth. Mainstream Christianity doesn't talk about that. What is that kingdom? It is Christ's kingdom over the earth for 1,000 years. Just read Revelation chapter 20, verse 7 and 8. When the 1,000 years are over, what 1,000 years is that verse referring to? It's referring to the end of Christ's yet future 1,000-year kingdom. In fact, that's the very same thing that his disciples asked him there at Matthew chapter 24, verse 3. There they ask him, what will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age? What age do you think that those disciples were asking Jesus about? Not the end of the world, but the end of Jesus Christ, yet future 1,000-year kingdom, which will have an age of 1,000 years. So when the 1,000 years are over, as mentioned at Revelation chapter 20, verse 7 and 8, then the dragon, who had lost that war in heaven, will be unabyssed from his prison of 1,000 years. He will not be able to interfere with that 1,000-year administration or Christ's kingdom over the earth. He will be oblivious to anything occurring on the earth because he will be abyssed, that is, locked up, inactive, in a place of spiritual darkness, so to speak. Now, when Christ's 1,000-year kingdom in the future ends, then he's released. It's not that he escapes. He's purposely released. And when he comes up out of the abyss, he brings up with him that beast. And that beast, when it comes up where? Out of the sea. Sea of what? Well, the one goes to Revelation chapter 17. We read toward the end of that chapter that people, nations, and tongues are referred to as waters. So when the beast comes up out of the sea, it comes out not out of a literal sea, but it comes up out of the sea of people, nations, tongues, and languages. It comes up out of all of that. That's the sea. Because it will be peoples, nations, languages, and tongues that it will have power and control over. So the fatal wound that this beast that comes out of the sea, the one that has the 7 heads, 10 horns, and 10 crowns on its head, and it has blasphemous names on all of its heads, that will be a throne. Revelation chapter 16, verse 10 tells us that also, that the beast will be a throne, a kingdom, not a man. So what I'm saying here, and I believe this is irrelevant to me what others think, because they believe what they believe, I believe what I believe. I'm not trying to convince anyone. I'm simply giving individuals fodder to think. And I feel very qualified to talk about this because I believe the very same things that they believe now. But the beast has not arrived yet. This throne has not arrived yet. In fact, all of the governments, kingdoms, and nations that exist today will have to be destroyed first. All of us will have to die and be resurrected first. Christ's kingdom will have to run its course on the earth for 1,000 years and then end. The end of that age. The war in heaven between Michael and his angels and the dragon and his angels must take place. You see, Satan has not been restricted from access to heaven. That war has not occurred yet. This is all yet future. I venture to say that the majority, 99.9% of the world has been deceived and misled with regards to the identity of this beast. The book of Revelation speaks of 3 beasts. The first beast comes out of the sea. The second beast comes out of the earth, and it is closely associated with the first beast and does its bidding. It is its mouthpiece, its visible mouthpiece. You see, the beast itself that comes out of the sea, see, that's a real kingdom. But there will be human voices that will have power and authority to speak in behalf of or representative of the beast that comes out of the sea. That beast comes out of the earth, as mentioned at Revelation chapter 13, verse 11, and it has not arrived yet. The third beast that's mentioned in Revelation is mentioned in Revelation chapter 17. That beast is scarlet or red in color. It resembles the beast that comes out of the sea. In fact, it will be the very same beast. Notice that the beast at Revelation chapter 17 has 7 heads, just like the beast that comes out of the sea. It has 10 horns, just like the beast that comes out of the sea. But what it does not have is crowns on each horn, and it is red in color. And there's a woman sitting on top of it, meaning that this woman and who she represents controls it now. No crowns control this beast. So we're seeing the beast that comes out of the sea at Revelation chapter 17 at a different time in its existence. It has lost its power. In Revelation chapter 17, it will have lost its kingly power. That's why we don't see any crowns on its horns. So the fatal wound or death stroke that the beast that comes out of the sea will receive in the future will have been inflicted upon it by the war that will occur in heaven between Michael and his angels and the dragon and his angels.